All right. So good week of practice, and look, we're ready to go. So I know you guys got a lot of questions for me, so I'll let you go ahead and get going.
I assume you know what the first one is too. I mean,
I would imagine that
Andy Dalton going to start it?
I think it's doubtful that Jameis plays in the game, and so our plan right now is to have Andy ready to go. We'll see how things go overnight, but Andy will be ready to go if that's the direction that we go.
Did Jameis suffer a physical setback, or
I don't
did you
think
guys just
I don't think
decide
so.
that-
I think just a little bit of accumulation of the wear and tear. It's a long season, and I don't think his body responded quite the way we anticipated over the first couple of days. So yeah, we've rested him this week, and we'll see. We still got a couple of days, but we'll see.
If he felt well, you'd be willing to play without practicing this week, though, without him having practice.
Yeah, and I think we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
How has Andy been this week in practice?
It's been good. Yeah, he's done a good job. Look, Andy's done this. He's performed at a high level in our league, and that's really one of the big reasons why we brought him here. Is in case he's called upon, we feel highly confident that he can go in and do the job. And so, we're kind of looking that direction. And again, we'll kind of take it to the last minute, but I think it's doubtful that Jameis plays.
Dennis, are you expecting to see Michael Thomas this week?
No, Michael Thomas will be out this week.
And then just going back to 2014, have you been over here in London? Have you been able to sort of like reflect on your career at all? Just how it's kind of come full circle?
Not really. Not really. I really kind of live in the moment, and that's what I'm really focused on right now.
James just kind of spirits, having missed.
I think he's a little frustrated that he didn't feel better than he thought he would. Typically it's been, doesn't feel great early in the week, and as the week goes on, he starts to feel a little bit better, and we didn't quite see that this week. And so he's a fighter, he's a competitor, he wants to play, and again, we'll see.
But appreciates that the decision is medical and isn't, taking it as a quarterback change to the offense? Or?
Yeah, I think this is purely a medical decision, in terms of whether or not he plays or not, and I think again you look at this as a long season, and you don't want to just continue down the same circular path, each and every week, and so I think part of this week, him missing practice this week, was a lot about trying to get the rehab and get him healthy.
Coach, how much Jameis's injury do you think has been affecting his performances?
Well, look, I mean that's hard for me to say. I think offensively we hadn't been as consistent as we need to. We've created some explosive plays down the field. We've moved the ball at times. We haven't finished as well as we need to. So I don't know that I could say that it's been a major factor or not. That's probably a better question for Jameis to be able to answer in terms of just physically how that's affected him. But certainly, we feel confident in him as a quarterback.
Sorry if you specified this, that you're talking about wear and tear. Is it the back that's limiting him this week? Or
Well, I
is it
think
his
there's a couple
ankles?
things. I mean,
Okay.
there's,
So everything.
it's a little bit of everything.
I feel like the ankle, no one really asked about that because everyone's so focused on the back.
Yeah,
so.
it's still kind of lingering from training camp. All right, guys. Thanks.
Thank you, Dan.
Number 3. It's crazy.
Well, Andy, know you've gotten used to the idea of always preparing to be ready, but I mean, did you go into this week, knowing that she had an injury stat? I mean, did you treat it the whole week as you would have as if you were named the starter on Monday?
Yeah, it's been the same preparation that I have every week, and I always prepare myself the same way. So with whatever happens, I know I'll be ready, and so this week I've just gotten a little more practice time out there. But yeah, however this thing goes, I'll be ready if my number's called.
Go ahead.
Just what's your comfort level with the different receivers, and that you feel like you got good timing and you can read their body language and all that different stuff?
Yeah, I think for me, I had the whole spring while Jameis was rehabbing, and I think that was a great time for me to get to know these guys and to be around them, and just some of the stuff that we've done through camp and everything. So I feel really good about where we're at.
And your last start was against them. Does that help at all? Just having played the Vikings in January?
Yeah, I've played against them several times, and last year obviously new coach now, new scheme, new stuff, but yeah, I have played against them several times.
Andy, you also might be taking over at a time, obviously, where this offense needs to find some rhythm. What are the goals in mind of trying to establish that if you're starting on something?
I think the biggest thing is we just need to be efficient, and we can't hurt ourselves, and then just go play. Trust in what we know what we're doing, trust in the plays that are called, and go execute. And that's all it comes down to. We don't have to do anything more or anything less. Let's just go be us and play.
And I'm not sure how much you've had a chance to see Thursday night football for, honestly, with the injury to Tua last night. I suppose, what was your reaction when you saw that?
Yeah, it's tough. You never want to see anybody get hurt like that. And just praying for him. Hopefully he heals up quickly.
Is that something that the protocols need to be looked at?
That's something that they're going to have to deal with. That's something that's all on their side, but what they're going to have to go through.
Did both times you come here before you only came on Friday?
Yeah, both times were.
Have you noticed that this feels better or anything, or it's an advantage?
I definitely feel more adjusted now than I did coming in on a Friday. So, hopefully that there's different philosophies with it all, and I feel good. I feel like I've adjusted to the time zone and everything, so I feel good about where I'm at.
And how much do you remember about that tie back in 16 or 17, whatever it was?
Yeah, against Kirk Cousins, So both teams had chances, and we weren't able to get it done. So it ended in a tie. Kind of a weird feeling coming all the way to London to tie. But everybody here was used to it because they're used to all the ties in soccer and everything, so they didn't think anything of it.
Andy, what's your confidence level in receivers despite that Mike Thomas?
I was talking to somebody. I think the best thing for this team was a lot of guys got a lot of action last year and have played a lot of football. So I'm really comfortable with everybody that we're going to have out there.
Andy, how much do you lean on your experience in Dallas stepping in for Dak in a situation like this?
Yeah, it's part of it. I've been in the situation before where you're the backup and have to step in and play. And I've also played in a ton of games and started a ton of games. And so my experience is, I know how to handle the whole process of everything. So, my number's called, and like I said, I'll be ready.
Maybe was any of your family able to come over here for this game? Did they go to the last two games?
Yeah, so I've had family come in for the last couple. My wife JJ's here. I've got my brother and sister-in-law here, a couple friends. So usually the London games get circled on a lot of people's calendar to come out and visit and go see that one.
So your son's not missing tonight's game back home?
No, he wasn't going to miss the game. He wasn't going to travel all the way out here to miss his flag football game tonight. Yeah, 2011 draft class. All right.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. We got an app.
How you feeling? Feeling good?
Yeah, I feel good. Feel good, normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How good was it for you to get out there last week and make a solid contribution after having been out for a couple
It meant a lot just being back out there with the guys after the injury, you know, and then on top of that, you know, having an impact, the actual impact in the game, that made me happy also. But only thing would have made it better if we would have won. You know, sadly we lost, but it was just I was just happy to be back out there with the guys, and just being able to make an impact.
What's it been like working with Andy this week?
I say, to me, honestly, in practice, you know, I throw with Andy all the time. Like I throw with both Andy and Jameis. But Andy being out there, it's kind of a normal feeling from my aspect, from my point of view. I say like I'm already comfortable with Andy, you know, being in training camp, and then like I kind of throw with Andy like every day in practice, so I'm kind of comfortable with Andy, and he looks comfortable out there himself, so everything looked good, you know, from my point of view. Thank you, guys.
Kentavious, what's some of the challenges guarding against somebody like Dalvin Cook?
So I played Dalvin in college, and he's just a very fast, distinctive, he doesn't really waste any time, hitting the hole. So, it's just, you have to be on your piece of crew, you have to really have gap integrity, go out there and do your job, because if you go out there trying to do too much, he can really make a mess of your defense really fast.
Kentavious, how's your kind of role progressed in the first couple of weeks? Seems like every week you're kind of taking on maybe a little bit more on the field a little bit more.
I feel like for the most part, it's been relatively the same. I may be getting a little bit more snaps here and there, but for the most part, it's been the same.
How do you like kind of the way the Saints, you said, D-line rotation, you get a lot of guys?
Oh, it's great because you go out there 3 or 4 plays, and then the next guy coming in, you go in, refuel, and you're going back out there. It just keeps us all fresh. Putting our best out there on the film.
You get feel that late in games.
Yeah, it's a great thing. Yeah.
Kentavious, Cam mentioned the other day that the defensive line dinner you guys went out to, he mentioned you by name because you're a new teammate, but he's just stuff like that can make you guys that much closer and get to know each other that much more. I mean, is that true even more than a training camp and a regular season?
No doubt. I think that's the thing. Not only while we're playing football that it's really important having that chemistry, but once you get away from football in the off season or even just retiring, I think just having those bonding moments with your team away from football is what makes the stuff on the field really click. So I think that stuff is even more important than the things we do in the building. Really being able to bond off the field.
And has he given you 32 nicknames yet? Or
Not yet. We're building on it.
I just wanted to ask for your reaction, I suppose, to the incident last night or overnight with Tua being injured. I suppose what goes through players' minds when they see that, and how do they make it feel?
That's a great question. It's an unfortunate part of the game. We play such a physical and violent game. It's inevitable for us to have injuries, and prayers go out to Tua because you never want to see a player have to go through that. But the NFL has done such a good job of bringing on next gen technology with our helmets, shoulder pads, doing the best they can to keep us safe. So it's just a unfortunate side effect to the game.
You obviously mentioned the work that the NFL's put in. Is that something that players want to see go further?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we can never be too safe in this sport. Linemen are having car-like collisions every play. Linebackers have to come down the field at the gaps, hit running backs. Wide receivers are coming across the middle and getting hit by safeties. It's safe to. I know it's a fine line of being too safe and not safe enough with football, but as a player in the sport, when you go out there and give your life for the game, you really want to be as safe as possible. No problem at all, man. Y'all take care.
All right. So, I'll just say this: how beneficial is it to have a veteran quarterback like Andy, just in the case of situations like this?
Yeah, definitely in situations like this, it's important. Being, I don't know the exact years, but Andy's been in the league for a long time. So, he just I'm saying just the experience and everything, just have him there is definitely good. Definitely situations like this.
You're probably junior high when you started his NFL career, maybe even grade school.
2011. I was in 5th, 6th grade. 5th, 6th grade. So yeah, like I said, Andy been doing this for a while. So yeah.
What kind of has he taken on a kind of a leadership role with the offense this week in particular? Just taking those first 10 reps.
Yeah, I mean, but also having a guy like Andy around, a veteran guy, it's always he's always has a respect from us. You know what I'm saying? He always has a respect. People know hey, we all know Andy's been doing this for a minute. So, just like I said, he's been able to really just embrace that leadership role, I can say. But he's always been a leader here, though.
What are some of the things that stick out about the Vikings defensive line and some of the challenges they pose?
They're talented front. Bigger guys. Definitely a talented front.
that's one thing I can say to stick out. I mean, it's a bunch of things we look at on film, but you know, it's big, stout guys, so that's one thing we notice.
Could you share a little bit of what has stood out about Calvin Throckmorton when he stepped into the league?
Yeah, big Throck. Throckman, but Throck started last year too. Throck started last year, so I mean, me and Throck got here at the same time, so I said Throck in college, Throck played everything, so it's nothing new to him. So like I said, every time we're in there doing reps, you know, Throck's out there just, you know, honing in like he's starting. You know, that's how he would take every week, even the weeks he wasn't starting, he would take reps like he was starting. So this is just enough for him.
Does it have any kind of a major impact for you when there's a change on the offensive line at that other guard position?
In terms of it's just a different person. But like I said, when it comes to like chemistry and stuff, you know, we played together last year for a while, so I can't tell you the exact number. So you know, it's just I said Throck's played. Throck's has games he started last year, and it doesn't really change much.
It's kind of top priority for you guys this week. Is it just not having the careless mistakes, or is it starting fast? And all the
really that, you know, really just taking care of the ball, and you know, taking care of the ball, not really shooting ourselves in the foot with like penalties and stuff like that. But ultimately, you know, the main goal is to win this game, though. You know what I mean? So
however you have to do that.
however you gotta do it, you know.
What was your reaction to seeing the injury sustained by Tua overnight? How does that obviously, you know, impact fellow NFL players when you see something like that?
Oh, what was it again? I'm sorry.
For Tua in the game last night.
Oh, I think I woke up to that. It's definitely scary. You know, you hate to see that. Man, I don't really know what to say. I know it's scary, man. You know, it's the job we do. But you know, a lot of times that's not a part of it. You know what I mean? So it's definitely scary. I hope he's all right. You know, I don't really read up on stuff. You know, I just kind of just see what people send me. But you know, I hope he's all right. You know, I hope everything works out for him. But yeah, stuff like that. You know, stuff that's scary, man. You know, you hate to see that for somebody.
Do you think just viewing that is something that, you know, the NFL needs to go further?
Need to go for yeah, definitely when it comes to like, you know, head injuries and stuff like that, I feel like it should be taken like very seriously. Like I said, I don't know any details on like really like what went on over there, but you know, I mean, we know, players know, I think the league knows, like, you know, head injuries and stuff should be taken like very seriously. So wasn't expecting that one. All right, y'all be good. We're not gonna make the trip.